Good day, grade 10 students. We are now on the 4th week of Science 10. But before we start with our lesson, let us have first a prayer. Once again, good day, grade 10 students. How are you today? I hope that you and your loved ones are in good condition. As I have said, we are now on week number 4 for Science 10. And we are now going to study the wonders of our body. We are now focusing on the anatomy. For this quarter, you are going to learn 3 different organ systems, which are the nervous system, the endocrine system, and the reproductive system. In your past grade level science, you have learned about, during your grade 9 science, circulatory system and respiratory system. And then in your grade 8 science, you have learned about the digestive system. Now, we are going to a deeper understanding of our body by understanding and learning the 3 different organ systems which are essential for your survival. And as I have said, these are the nervous, endocrine, and reproductive system. For this unit, we have 3 main lessons. The first lesson is all about the main parts and functions of nervous, endocrine, and reproductive system. The lesson number 2 is all about the reproductive system working with the endocrine system. And the last lesson is all about the nervous system working with the reproductive and the endocrine system. But before we start with our lesson, I want you to answer first the pre-assessment found on your learning packet on the assessment sheets section. Now, after that you have answered the pre-assessment on the assessment sheet section of your learning packets, let us now start with our first lesson, which is the main parts and functions of a nervous, endocrine, and respiratory system. For this lesson, you only have to learn one objective, and that is describe the main parts and functions of nervous, endocrine, and reproductive system. Let us begin with our nervous system. Our nervous system has the function for controlling our bodily activities. There are 2 main divisions of nervous systems, and they are the peripheral nervous system and the central nervous system. Do you still recall what you have learned during your grade 6 science about the nervous system? The nervous system has 3 main parts, which are the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves. Okay? So what are the functions of each part of the nervous system? Let's begin with the first division of the nervous system, which is the central nervous system. Central nervous system acts as the main processor of different information and activities that happens inside the human body. As I have told to you, it is composed of different parts. The first part of the central nervous system is our brain. Okay? Our brain is the main processor or controller of all activities that happens inside our body. It is protected by our skull from damages or trauma that can happen to us. Okay? The next one is the spinal cord. The spinal cord is connected to the brain so that it can transmit the different signals and feedback coming out and coming in inside the brain. Okay. It is located at our back and it is protected by our spinal column. So these are the 2 main parts of the central nervous system. We can also have a deeper understanding about brain by analyzing its different parts. Let us zoom in the brain. Okay. So the brain, as you can see, has different divisions or different parts. Can you still remember what are those parts? We have the cerebellum, and the brainstem. Okay. Cerebrum is the large part of your brain. It has different function, and the main function of it is to control activities and thought that happens inside our brain. The lower part of our brain is called as the cerebellum or cerebellum. Okay, its function is for posture, balance, and coordination. Okay? Another part of the brain, and the last main part, is what we call as the brainstem. Okay? What are the functions of brainstem? Brainstem function is for breathing, digestion, heart rate, and blood pressure. But there are also different functions of the brain, and we will learn that as we go on with our discussion. Okay? So that is, or those are the different parts of the brain that makes up the central nervous system, or the CNS. Now, how about the PNS, or the peripheral nervous system, which contains the nerves or the nerve cell that coordinates the different functions that happen in our body. Okay? So there are different parts also that comprises the peripheral nervous system. We have the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Okay. Let us run down what are the different parts of somatic and autonomic nervous system. Okay? When we say somatic nervous system, it controls all our voluntary action. It means that pag sinabi nating voluntary, ito yung mga actions na meron tayong control or meron tayong perception bago nating gawin. Okay? So we have again the somatic nervous system, voluntary control yung kanyang take part inside our nervous system. And it is also subdivided into two types of nerves. We have the spinal nerves and the cranial nerves. Ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng spinal nerves and cranial nerves? Spinal nerves carry motor and sensory signals between spinal cord and the brain and the body. So sila yung nagsisend ng motors or sensory signal coming from the different senses. We have the sense of sight, sense of smell, sense of hearing, sense of taste, and sense of feeling. Okay? So sila yung nagsisend nun between our spinal cord and the different parts of the body. So yun yung ginagawa ng spinal nerves. How about cranial nerves? Okay? Ano kaya sa tingin nyo? Kung merong coordination between the nervous system and between the spinal cord and the nerves, ang cranial nerves is the coordination between the brain and brainstem. So sila yung bahalang mag-send ng signal sa brain and the brainstem. Okay, again, we have peripheral nervous system. They compose of the different nerves that transmit and receive signals in and out the body. So it is divided into two. The first one is the somatic nervous system, which is composed of the nerves that are responsible for our voluntary actions. When we say voluntary action, they are the actions that our mind has control to. And it is subdivided into two types, which are the spinal nerves, which send signals and the sensory from our nerves and our spinal cord. While for cranial nerves, it is the responsible for sending signals in our brain and brainstem. Okay, let's go with the next one, which is the autonomic nervous system. Okay, so if the somatic nervous system controls the voluntary action, this autonomic nervous system controls the involuntary actions or the actions that we do without our controls. Okay? So, yung hindi mo na kailangang isipin, kusa niya nang gagawin. Okay? So, yun yung ginagawa ng autonomic nervous system. So, like the somatic nervous system, meron siyang two main divisions. The first one for autonomic system is the sympathetic. Okay? Pag sinabi kayang sympathetic, anong ibig sabihin nun? A sympathetic, it is activated when the body is in dynamic stress. Okay? So, for example, nasa stress yung katawan or merong kailangang activity na kailangang pagmalakihan na kailangang gawin. So, for example, increase in heart rate. Okay, so for example, tumatakbo tayo or kailangan natin ng mas maraming oxygen, kusa niya na i-increase yung ating heart rate. Another one is yung tinatawag nating adrenaline rush. Okay? So, andito rin siya. For example, meron tayong emergency situation, automatic yon na mag-send ng signal sa ating brain para paganahin yung alert status ng ating katawan. Okay? So, kabaliktaran ng sympathetic, yung parasympathetic. Kung ang sympathetic is for body to have signals for a stressful situation, ang parasympathetic naman is to give our body relaxation. Okay, so for example, nakuha na yung enough oxygen, ibababa na yung heart rate. Kusa na yon. Okay? O kaya naman, tapos na yung stressful situation na mararanasan ating katawan, ibababa niya na yung adrenaline rush na tinatawag natin. So, makakalm na tayo. So, yun yung pagkakaiba ng sympathetic and parasympathetic types, which are types of what we call as autonomic nervous system. Okay? So, let us run that again. Our nervous system. Our nervous system comprises of two different divisions, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system or the CNS is composed of two parts, the brain and the spinal cord. The brain is the main processor of our bodily activities and it is divided into three divisions. We have the cerebellum, cerebrum, and the brainstem. While the spinal cord coordinates the signals to the brain and it connects to the different nerve cells found in our body. And then we have the PNS or the peripheral nervous system, which is composed of nerve cells. It is divided into two parts or two divisions, which are the somatic nervous system, which are for voluntary actions, and autonomic system, which are for what? For involuntary actions. The somatic nervous system is divided into two types, which are what do you call to the two parts of somatic? We have the spinal nerves and the cranial nerves. When we say spinal nerves, it connects the signals or the sensory or the senses with our nerves and the spinal cord. And the cranial nerves is for brain and brainstem. And then the autonomic nervous system is divided into two types, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Okay? So these are the things that you need to understand or to know about our nervous system. Now, after learning the different things about the nervous system, let us now discuss the second system which coordinates with the nervous system, and this is the endocrine system. Okay? I thought this is the first time that you will learn about the endocrine system or the hormonal system of our body. Okay? Endocrine system is responsible for regulating the body changes and activities that happens in our body in order to respond to the situations that happen or the processes that happen inside our body. Endocrine system is composed of different organs and glands. Okay? So glands are the one which releases body chemicals or what we call as the hormones that regulates or changes the bodily process inside our body. Okay, so mga glands yan, special type na nagre-release ng mga chemicals na nakapagpapasaya, nakapagpapalungkot, nakapagpapabago ng ating physical appearance, and nakakapagpa-regulate ng ating different nutrients na kailangan sa ating katawan. So ano-ano kaya yung mga organs na involve sa ating endocrine system? Unang-una na dyan yung nasa may part ng ating brain which are called as the pituitary gland. Okay? Pituitary gland is also referred as the master gland because it is the gland that controls the other glands which are part of the endocrine system. Okay? Kaya nga siya master. So, bukod sa isa siya sa part ng endocrine system, halos lahat din ng different glands or different parts of the endocrine system, siya yung kumokontrol sa kanila. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga functions ng pituitary gland na yan? Its functions are very various or marami. So, meron diyang for growth sa ating pagtangkad or sa growth ng ating different organs, controls the functions of other glands. So, kung ano yung ginagawa ng other glands, para na rin function kasi nga, siya yung kumokontrol sa lahat ng processes na yon. So, that is the pituitary gland. And then, we go with this thyroid and parathyroid glands. Okay, yung nasa ating lalamunan. Ano kaya ang functions ng thyroid and parathyroid? Okay? Actually, thyroid and parathyroid are working together. So, halos parehas lang sila ng functions and they are part of one place. No? Ang location nila nasa one place lang. Yung parathyroid, mas maliit lang ng konti sa thyroid glands. Okay, so ano ba yung functions ng thyroid and parathyroid glands? So, its main functions are for our immunity. So, sila yung nag-a-act kung kailangan ng katawan natin ng suporta sa pagpapagaling natin sa mga sakit. So, yun yung main functions ng thyroid and parathyroid gland. Ano pa? It is responsible for our growth as well because it regulates the calcium level inside our body. Okay, so, yun yung mga ginagawa nila, the calcium content and also for immunity. So, that is the thyroid and the parathyroid gland. Okay? Not shown in the picture but also we have here the gland near our heart is the thymus gland. Ano naman ginagawa ng thymus gland na nasa ating chest area? Thymus gland enable us to produce certain antibodies. Okay? Siguro naririnig nyo na yung antibodies sa mga news. Ang antibodies, sila yung lumalaban sa mga antigens or mga virus and bacteria na nag-i-invade sa ating katawan. So, it is essential na malabanan yung mga yon because we have what we call natural immunity sa ating katawan and they are released with the help of thymus. Okay? Next one, we have the adrenal gland. So, nakikita nyo na dyan. Adrenal gland is located above our kidneys. Okay? And it is responsible for stressful situations or what we call the reaction called the fight or the flight reaction. Ano ba yung fight or flight? Okay? So for example, nasa isang mabigat ka na situation or nasa emergency situation ka like fire or earthquake, volcanic eruption, or merong humahabol sa'yo, merong mananakit sa'yo, o kaya naman nagagalit ka, may gusto kong labanan, naiinis ka, yan. Lumalabas yung strength, special strength ng ating katawan. Imagine, meron pala tayong special strength na tinatawag. And that is because of the adrenal gland. Nagre-release kasi sila ng tinatawag nating hormone na adrenaline. Okay, yung tinatawag nating adrenaline rush, di ba? Kapag may nababalitaan kayo na sunog, ganyan sa isang barangay, sa TV, sa Maynila, for example, makikita nyo ang daming buhat-buhat ng mga tao. But on a regular basis, they cannot withstand holding it for a long time. But for emergency situations like that, kayang-kayang buhatin kung ano man yung kayang buhatin, di ba? Lumalabas yung special skills dahil yung adrenaline na yon na nilalabas ng ating adrenaline gland, pinapa-increase niya yung energy sa ating mga muscles. Okay, ini-increase na din yung ating heartbeat para magkaroon tayo ng attention or ng panic attack, panic mode na tinatawag. Okay? It's either, yun nga, sabi ko kanina, fight or flight. It's either labanan mo yung stressful situation or takasan mo, flight, yung stressful situation na yun. For example din, nanakawan ka o kaya may nakupitan ka, ganyan. So, di ba yung iba, anong nangyayari, napapatulala. Diba? At first, may iba napapatulala. Yung iba naman, tatakbo agad. Okay? Ano ba yung reaction na yun? Dahil din yun sa adrenaline natin. Okay? It's either matulala siya, ang tawag doon is flight, di niya na lang nilabanan, natitigan na lang niya, iniwasan na lang niya. Or fight, tumakbo siya, habulin niya, labanan niya yung kawatan na yon. Okay? So, ito rin yung responsible for that, the adrenaline gland. So, imagine may ganun pala tayong processes na nangyayari sa ating katawan. It's because of the adrenaline. Okay? Next one is the pancreas. Okay, so on the image. So ayan, pancreas, itong makikita natin sa digestive system. Okay? O sa Tagalog ay lapay. Okay? So ano ba yung naitutulong niya sa ating digestive system? It regulates the blood sugar level. Okay, yung pancreas natin, it regulates the blood sugar level. So, diyan nakikita, lumalabas yung famous na hormone na tinatawag nating insulin. Okay, ano ba ang insulin kung naririnig nyo na ito sa mga diabetic person? Okay, insulin regulates blood sugar. Okay, so kapag nag-intake kasi tayo ng pagkain, hindi maganda na wala tayong insulin na mag-regulate sa blood sugar natin. Kasi kapag mataas yung ating sugar content, malaking risk yun para sa atin. So, ang ginagawa ng pancreas, nagre-release siya ng insulin para ma-regulate yung blood sugar. Okay, so for example, kung ano lang muna yung kailangan natin, ay i-control niya. Okay, hindi agad yon i-intake. So, yung iba doon ay i-store muna sa ating atay or liver para kung kailangan natin ng sugar or energy, magagamit natin kapag tayo ay hindi pa kumakain. For example, nagugutom ka, meron kang extra energy na naka-imbak. So, yun yung ginagawa ng insulin. Ngayon, yung insulin siya yung nag-i-store ng sobra, nagre-regulate. Paano naman kung kailangan nga natin? Sabi ko nga, kapag kailangan na natin, sino ang maglalabas nun? Trabaho naman yun ni glucagon. Okay? Si insulin, siya ang nagpapababa, nagre-regulate, nagtatago ng sobrang sugar na ini-intake natin. Once naman na kailangan na natin ng sugar, si glucagon i-release para ilabas niya yung mga sugars na nakatago or kailangan ng ating katawan. So that is the function of pancreas. It releases insulin and glucagon. Next one is the testes. Okay? So testes in male and ovary in females. Okay? So, testes releases two hormones which are the androgen and testosterone. Okay, so, yung testes, the male, siya yung responsible for releasing the sperm cells which are used in sexual reproduction. And aside from that, ano pa? It is responsible for the different changes that happens during the puberty stage of a boy to a male. Okay? So, kapag kailangan nang mag-change ng body characteristics dahil nasa puberty state na yung isang lalaki, magre-release yan ng hormones para magbago yung ating katawan. So, for boys. Okay? So, that is the testicle. Okay? And then, for females, we have the ovaries. Okay? So, ovaries naman ang responsible for different female processes like changes during the puberty, and also marami din niyang process like for menstruation. It is responsible and for the development of the baby inside the womb. Ano ba yung nire-release na hormones ng ovaries? Kung sa male ay androgen and testosterone, sa female ay estrogen and what? Progesterone. So, yan yung mga nire-release na hormones ng female reproductive part, which is the ovary. So, those were the different parts of the endocrine systems. Okay? So, you may refer to your learning packet for complete details about the parts or the glands, the hormones they releases, their location inside the body of male and female, and their functions. Now, let us move on to the last system that we are going to discuss. Okay? I want you to have an open mind about this because it is essential that you know about the reproductive system because you are now in grade 10 science. Okay? So we have the male reproductive system first. Okay? So male reproductive system is composed of different parts which are essential for sexual reproduction. Okay? Let us start with the testes or the testicles. Okay? So when we say testes or testicle, it is the part of male reproductive system which is responsible for what? Okay? As I've told you earlier, it is also part of endocrine system because it is responsible for bodily changes during the puberty of a man, and also it is the part that or where the sperm cells are produced. Okay? So, yung testes or testicles ng male is the part that contains or produces the sperm cell. Okay? It is protected by what we call a sac or the scrotum. So, it will not be easily scratched or the temperature will also be regulated. Because it is important na regulated yung temperature sa testes because sperm may die out if the temperature is not constant or is not well regulated. Okay? So the next part of the male reproductive system is the epididymis. Okay? What is epididymis? Epididymis store mature sperm cells. Okay? So sila yung nasa ibabaw ng ating testes. Sila yung kapag nag-release na or nag-produce na ng sperm cell galing sa testes, kailangan nilang mag-mature and dito muna sila i-imbak sa epididymis as long as they are not yet released by the urethra. Okay? So epididymis holds the mature sperm cells. And then let's go with the long tube-like structure here, which is called as the vas deferens. Okay, what is vas deferens? Vas deferens is a long narrow tube that carries sperm from testes to the urethra. So sila yung daluyan ng sperm cell from the testes to the urethra. Okay? Additional information, this vas deferens may in some parts of the world is cut just like in females what we call as the ligation. Okay, kinakat yan to make the man infertile or sterile. Okay, so ganun din ginagawa sa ibang animals, di ba? Kinakat yung part ng vas deferens para hindi na sila makapag-fertilize. Okay? So that is called as the vasectomy. Okay? And then after the vas deferens, meron tayong parang a tube dito which is called as the prostate gland. Ano bang function ng prostate gland? Actually, there are three different glands found in male reproductive system. The prostate gland, the seminal vesicle, and the bulbourethral gland, which are responsible for keeping the sperm alive and supplying it enough energy as it travel to the vagina. Okay? So let's first discuss what is the function of the prostate gland. Prostate gland secretes a slightly alkaline milky fluid that is discharged as part of the sperm. Okay? So sila yung nagre-release ng alkaline milky fluid doon sa ating semen or yung final ejaculatory product. Okay, so hindi lang kasi basta sperm cell or cell lang yon na nandun sa inire-release sa ating urethra. Kailangan meron siyang mga fluids para makapag-travel through siya sa female reproductive system. Kasi kapag wala siyang fluids, it will die out eventually and no fertilization will occur. So, unang function na mga glands or organs na makikita dito sa ating male reproductive system, una na nga yung prostate gland. Ang ginagawa niya, nilalagyan niya ng alkaline milky fluid yung sperm cells so that it will adapt to the acidic environment of the vagina. So, kailangan kasi alkaline siya, makontra niya yung acidic environment nung vagina para hindi siya mamatay as they swim. Okay, so that is the function of the prostate gland. But for some reasons, this prostate gland is a common problem for males kasi nga nagkakaroon ng prostate cancer. Ito yung most common cancer na nag-occur sa males. Isa sa most common cancer, yung prostate cancer. Next one, pagkatapos ng prostate gland is what we call as the seminal vesicle. Okay, para sa naman si seminal vesicle. Okay, kung si prostate gland ang nire-release niya ay alkaline milky fluid, si seminal vesicle secretes a fluid that is clear and makes up most of the components of the semen. Okay, kaya siya tinawag na seminal vesicle. Yung seminal fluid, idinadagdag niya dun sa alkaline fluid na nirelease ng prostate gland para magkaroon ng magandang pag-flow yung sperm doon sa may tinatawag nating vagina or sa cervix ng woman. Okay? And then lastly, we have the bulbourethral gland. Okay, para sa naman yung bulbourethral gland, secretes a thick and clear mucus that lubricates and neutralizes any traces of urine in the urethra. Okay? So, bago i-release yung ejaculatory product or yung semen, kailangan malinis yung dadaluyan niya dun sa urethra. Okay? Ibig sabihin nun, si bulbourethral gland siya yung nagtatanggal ng any trace of ihe or urine dun sa urethra para makapag-flow ng maayos yung semen or yung ejaculatory product. Okay? So again, si prostate gland, nilalagyan niya ng alkaline milky fluid yung sperm cell. Si seminal vesicle, nilalagyan niya ng seminal fluid which makes up the whole ejaculatory product. And then si bulbourethral gland, siya naman yung naglilinis or nagwa-wipe out ng any traces of urine before i-release yung semen inside the male reproductive system. Okay. And then the last two parts of the male reproductive system is what we call the urethra and the penis. Okay, urethra, ito yung sa lalaki kasi compared sa girls, common lang yung daluyan ng urine and ng ejaculatory product. Okay? So, isa lang yung daluyan at ang daluyan na yon ay tinatawag nating urethra. They are both connected to what? Ano ba yung malaking structure dito? That is the urinary bladder or yung pantog na tinatawag. So, dyan ay store yung ihe. Tapos, iisa lang din yung dinadaanan ng ejaculatory product. So, pareha sila na dumadaan sa urethra. Okay? And then the last part of the reproductive system is the penis. Okay? Penis is the one being injected to vagina to facilitate the sexual reproduction. Okay? It has erective tissues that makes it erect and it is controlled by a certain part in our spinal column. Okay? So, ginagamit siya to inject the sperm cells into the vagina so that the formation of gametes will occur. Okay, so these are the different parts of reproductive system of a male. So we have the testes, which is enclosed in the scrotum, and the epididymis, which stores the mature sperm cells from the testes, the vas deferens, which connects the testes to the urethra, the prostate gland, which secretes alkaline milky fluid to the semen, and the seminal vesicle, which releases it, the bulbourethral gland, which cleans the pathway of the semen, the urethra, which is the pathway of both semen and urine, and the penis, which injects the ejaculatory product to the female reproductive system. Now, after learning the different parts of male reproductive system, we're now going to study the female reproductive system. Okay, so the first part of the female reproductive system are the ovaries. So, as I have told you earlier, ovaries are also part of endocrine system. And ovaries in reproductive system is main function is to release the egg cell. Okay? If the male reproductive system releases sperm cell, the female reproductive system releases egg cell. Okay? So egg cell, nare-release siya and nagmamature sa ovaries. Okay? Next one is the fallopian tube. What is the function of the fallopian tube? First is it is the site where the sperm cell and egg cell meet. So dito sila nagkikita. Okay, so it is also the part which connects the uterus to the ovaries. Okay, so yun yung functions of the fallopian tube. And then next one, yung uterus. Okay, uterus is the part of the female reproductive system where the baby develops. Okay, it is also the parts where the blood for nourishment for baby, which is released as menstrual flow if it is not if the egg is not fertilized, occurs in here. So dyan yun nare-release and dyan yun nabubuo. Okay, so yan yung function ng uterus. And then cervix, after the uterus, cervix is the boundary between the vagina and the uterus. Its function is to serve as the roof of the vagina. And then we have the flexible organ here. We have the vagina, a canal that accepts the penis in order to facilitate the entrance of the sperm cell inside a female reproductive organ or organ system. So, basic lang yung parts ng female reproductive system. Again, it has the parts called the ovaries, which is the part responsible for releasing the egg cell. The fallopian tube, which acts as the passageway and the meeting place between the sperm cell and egg cell. The uterus, which serves as the house of the baby, or where the baby develops, and where the menstrual blood comes from. And then the cervix, which serves as the roof of the vagina, and vagina, which accepts the penis to facilitate the entrance of the sperm cells. So these are the lessons about the different systems which serve as the foci of our lesson for today. It is all about the nervous, endocrine, and reproductive system. I hope you learn well, although there's a lot of things that is being discussed to you. Just remember the basics about the nervous, endocrine, and reproductive system, and you will not be confused. Okay? So that's it for our lesson for this discussion video. I hope that you learned well in our discussion. If you want to learn more about this lesson, you can open the files on your flash drive about nervous, endocrine, and reproductive system. And if you have questions about this lesson, you can ask me during our consultation hours via private message on Facebook or via private message using text message, or during our online video conference that will happen one day in this week. Okay? Once again, I am your teacher in Science 10 for this week, discussing the different parts and functions of nervous, endocrine, and reproductive system. Thank you, God bless, and happy learning.